Here in the Rotunda, there's a tremendous amount of history. This was not built like this. There really wasn't much of anything in the middle before the fire of 1814 when the British came into Washington. And the first place they went was into what we now call Statuary Hall, the old House Chamber. And they set everything that would burn on fire, went through the Capitol, set what would burn on fire. But after that is when they decided, we need something in the middle to be really spectacular. And this is what they came up with. But the first dome was actually wood and copper. It was not spectacular at all. And then they decided to expand the dome, make it nicer, and did. But it was in the 1850s. They decided to go up with the magnificent dome we now have. And it was still being built during the Civil War. Most people don't realize there are actually two domes. There's an inner dome and there's an outer dome. And many had just reconciled, okay, we're never going to be able to have a masonry big block dome like this Cathedral of St. Paul or St. Peter's Basilica. We won't be able to do that because it just won't, there's so much stone here that would not support a big heavy dome. Well, when they figured out they could have a cast iron dome, they realized even though it will weigh a tremendous amount, it would support that. So we've got this beautiful dome. That's the inner dome. But this drawing here depicts the outer dome that was constructed in the 1850s and through the Civil War. And there are stories that Lincoln was getting fussed at because he had able-bodied men working up here on this cast iron dome. But his position was officially, look, I don't want anybody on either side, Union, Confederate, to think we don't have faith that this is going to be a united Union and this is going to be the capital. So they continued to build on the outer dome, and there are photographs of it being built as cameras were around by then. And ironically, they finished the Rotunda in time for his assassination in 1865. So he ended up being the first president to lie in state here in the Capitol, here in the Rotunda. But you can actually, there are little stairs that go up there, and it stays locked up, but there are stairs that go up there to the top. And so there is an inner sanctum. There's a part here, an inner sanctum there between the outer dome and the inner dome. But so Lincoln, after he was assassinated, of course they took his body across the street, tried to help him, and they didn't realize how severe the hole in his head was. He did lie in state in the White House 2 or 3 days, and then his body was brought here to the Rotunda, and he laid in state here. And most all of the presidents since Lincoln have laid in state here. Their body is in the middle. It's a long ways this way. It used to be that people would come up through the west steps and file by, pay their respects quietly without comment. But since we now have a visitor center underground on the east side, now they screen people coming in. As I think Billy Graham may have been the first person that they had people come through the east side, I'm not certain, but they would file around and then go back down through the visitor center.